All right, I'm laughing because we're kind of have like a dual live stream going on. Hello. Oh my God. Happy Friday, guys. Okay, I have to figure out the best way because this is not the best setup. I'm not going to lie. Not the best setup, but you know what? We're doing it and I'm super excited. By the way, are we not loving my earrings? Like, I pulled these out and this is why I love things. So those of you that know me and have followed me for a long time, and those of you that are new to me, hello, Melissa Kathryn here. I love vintage shopping and I love vintage jewelry shopping. I used to do design when I was in New York City, and I did jewelry design for a few years there. And I like, one of my favorite things to do on the weekend would be doing vintage shopping in New York City. But it wasn't vintage shopping clothes, it was vintage shopping bags, vintage shopping jewelry. That was like my area. And when I was in Paris, I took my mom to Paris about 8 years ago. And this past year I took her to Portugal and it was epic and amazing. But I got these at a vintage shop in Paris and I'm obsessed with them, right? Like they're like, oh my God, so good. So good. I'm just obsessed. Okay, we know my love of fashion. I mean, and I love my whole outfit. You can't really see it, but I'll post a pic on my IG. Okay, so here's the deal with today. This is like super last minute. Amma, what's up, girls? Stephanie, what's going on? It's so good to see you guys. Those of you in my Ultimate Queens group, hello, hello, hello. So here is the thing, and this is why, and we'll stream this in my other groups as well. I have a lot of Facebook groups for my different programs, and sometimes I'm just like, we'll do all the things together. So here's the thing. This came about because there's been a lot of heavy energy going on lately. There's been a lot of energy. Right now we're in a Mercury Retrograde until March 10th. What does that really mean? Everybody always talks about Mercury Retrograde. If you're kind of new to Mercury Retrograde, I will share more with you about that. What we're going to be doing here, and for those of you that are new to me or just joined our wholeness group, welcome, welcome. For those of you that are just new to really like following me in general, and those of you that have been with me forever know that I always talk about this stuff. So I have a background, I'm a nutritionist. My approach to everything is holistic. I specialize in disordered eating, emotional eating. I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm an energy worker, and I'm an intuitive. And I specialize in connecting women back to their body and the truth of who they are before they ever thought they were less than, due to a number on the scale, a trauma, or anything. Fully healing that, letting that go, being whole, being empowered, and stepping into your power, fully embracing and having all the things that you want in your life, knowing that all of your desires are meant for you. That means having the body you want, having the money that you want, having the life that you want, having it all with ease and grace and so much fun and so much flow, right? So this isn't about working harder, okay? So Steph, thanks for, ladies, tag anyone that you know that can benefit from what I'm talking about. So what I'm gonna be sharing with you guys is, and I said this in my email, I'm like, disclaimer, I'm not doing voodoo magic on you. I don't know. And I'm totally kidding here. But I am woo. I mean, I'm like a total fashionista woo person. Like I can totally go on the beach and chant around a fire and like totally be tribal and have a great old time. And then I can like burn things and carry crystals. And then I can also dress like a boss lady, and be all the things in boss lady realms of building a thriving business and kind of being that way. But I like to bring it all together because we as women are that. We're all things. We're all things, and we get to ride the waves of the different energy that we feel that day. And it's super fun, and we never want to shut down parts of ourselves that are us, right? We want to heal things that don't feel good for us, but we never want to shut down parts of us that aren't us. One of the reasons why I'm really here today is so many of my private clients and women in the Queens program were, our Ultimate Queens program, were just like, okay, is it just me or is all this energy making you feel crazy? Like, is this energy, please tell me like something else is going on in the ether that can support me because my emotions are high. I'm having like moods. I'm super emotional. This negative voice is coming out. I need all of this extra sleep. I feel like I could go to bed at 6 o'clock. This is at me. Or others that are just like, oh my God, I have so much energy. And I'll talk about this. It's really Kundalini energy flowing through my system, creative energy, this resurgence of energy. And it's almost like you don't feel like you have enough time to get everything done. Like you're almost just sitting there like I have all of these ideas and all of these projects and I want to declutter my whole home and I think it's time to move. I cannot even tell you the number of women that are moving that are near me right now that have like moved, that everyone's like picking up and moving. If you're desiring to move, what is happening? So this is what I really want to explain to you guys. I want to break down a little bit of astrology just so that you have a good understanding of what that can be. Please take what speaks to you, leave what doesn't. Will all of this apply to you with food? Yes. So if you're here for weight loss and health and healing, I also want you to recognize that you may be feeling like you can't get full, like you just need to keep eating and eating and eating because you want to feel weighed down. And this is because there's a lot of ungrounded energy right now. So I really want you guys to pay attention to these things, and I want you to notice what I'm sharing with you and what is speaking to you. Again, take what speaks to you, leave what doesn't. Let's all have some fun. As I shared in my email, it's like a little cocktail of all the goodies, right? I'm going to bring it all together. So first off, let's just start like astrologically. Actually, no, let's like all come together because it's a Friday. For some of you, it's like you're starting off your Friday night. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the emojis. Let me know how you're feeling. Give me an emoji, like give me an expressive emoji. Are you feeling like super excited? Are you happy? Are you like, yeah, it's Friday? Are you like, I am ready for bed? Are you like, it's been one hell of a week? Are you like, all the magic is happening? Oh my God, I'm here. Are you like loving up everything? Or do you feel like you want to cry? Whatever it is, let's not make ourselves wrong for anything, but let me know with an emoji now or write a comment and tell me what you're thinking. So I know this was kind of like a random, super last minute thing that my team sent out. Like, I was like, I'm feeling inspired. We need to send it now. And I also know that this is kind of like a time that's not the best for my groups because a lot of you are doing different things right at this time. But you know what? You're going to get the replay, and that's all that matters because there's a message here. So let me know what's coming up for you. Let me know what resonates. If I'm saying anything at any time and you have a question about it, just post it in the chat and I'll answer it. How's that sound? Okay, so let's come together. Let's close our eyes. I mean, you would think I'm on speed. I think I'm talking a mile a minute. I get really excited to be with you all. Thank you. Love you. Okay, so thank you. Love you. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm in the movie Clueless. I'm like, what? Okay. So let's just come together. I want you to take some deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, and we're going to exhale out through the mouth. Let's just breathe in some white, calming light, eyes closed. We want this to be an internal experience. Inhale and suspend the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on the exhale, I want you to drop the shoulders and drop the jaw. Even add some sound in there. Some right? Like, let's really let the body just release and let go of anything. We don't need to worry. We don't need to doubt. We don't need to have anything about today or this weekend or tomorrow or what happened this week. We get to let all of that go now, here together. And inhale in. And suspend the breath, allowing the conscious mind to take a back seat as the subconscious mind takes over, allowing us to really hear what we need to hear today, receive messages we need to receive, and to just be privy to this information and take what speaks to us and leave what doesn't, and know that we are here right now to hear the guidance that we are asking for, that we've been asking for, and to receive the guidance that we've been praying for and asking for. And you get to receive that now, and you get to. And as we exhale, we release any and all tension, worries, doubts, and fears, and let them all go. I like to add sound. I like sound because I feel like as women, we don't fully embody and express everything that we desire. So let's just do that one more time, and everybody just really release some sound. Be as loud as you can, and really notice where you don't want to be too loud because you don't want people to hear you. And oh my God, what would they think of you? And would they judge you? And oh my God, can your neighbors hear? And can your coworker hear? And will your husband hear? And will your kids hear? And what will everybody think? It really doesn't matter. All that matters is what you think. The only opinion that matters is what you think. And you get to love you up, girl. So let's inhale in. And suspend the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale out. Yeah. I feel like I could do like 100 more of those, but we're going to open our eyes and come back. And let's go into this. So, you know, when you're in the yoga class and they do that, And everyone's like, really starts off really quiet and they're like, ah. And by the end, people are like, ah. And it feels good, right? Like you're all of a sudden you're like, ah, take it all. Take it all. I don't want it. Okay, so let's like to dive into this. So astrologically right now we're in a Mercury retrograde, and a Mercury retrograde started on the 19th and it's going to go until March 10th. What they really advise at this time is not to go into any contracts, not to go into anything. Do you like how I just dive right in? I'm like, close your eyes, release everything. Okay, Mercury retrograde. So I just like to simplify everything. You don't need to fear Mercury retrograde. I believe in working with Mercury retrograde. Working with Mercury retrograde, just like working with your periods, it's a time when you get to go inward. It's a time when you don't have to make a lot of decisions, and you just get to go, you know what, I'm going to put any heavy, big decisions that I'm unsure of at this time, that I don't fully, I'm not fully behind at this moment. I get to put them aside, and I get to wait to sign all contracts. I get to wait to make any commitments. I get to wait to do anything that isn't an absolute hell yes in my body, right? Anything that I'm not like, oh my God, yes, I am in, right? Like you get to let that go. You get to bridge it. You get to put it away. You just get to go, I don't need to do that right now. And right now I just get to go inward. I get to check in with myself. I get to see what feels aligned for me. I get to see what feels right for me. I get to be in that space of what's really honoring to myself. So just like I said, with your menstrual cycle, or lack thereof, or what have you, you get to be, it's a time not to make yourself wrong, right? Like as women, and I teach this in our program, like I'm always like, guys, you know, instead of beating yourself down for the desires that you want to like eat these snacks and like you are bitchy and you want to like instead embrace it and just go, great, I get a grace period of like 7 to 10 days a month, or 4 to 10 days a month, whatever your cycle is. I get to do that, and I get to like eat the things, and I get to be mean, I get to be bitchy, and I get to have an excuse that's, you know, and I get to not make myself wrong, and I get to have extra sleep, and I get to just kind of go inward and be whatever. And I don't have to make myself wrong, right? So it's the same thing with Mercury retrograde, in that, you know, this isn't a time to fear, and this isn't a time to go and sit there and be like, oh my God. What you will notice with Mercury retrograde that people will talk about is there's a lot of technical issues. Like I'm fascinated that we got on as quickly and as easily as we did today. And now we're just going to pray that the thing posts really well, that it posts and doesn't like disappear or something. But Mercury retrograde is that time when things can just like all of a sudden, you know, you can be like, what happened? Like, where did that account go? Or what just happened? Like my computer broke, and like all of a sudden I lost my phone. Like there can be a lot of technological glitches. And it's also a time where people just say like, don't go into heavy commitments or make big decisions during this time. So instead of sitting there and being in fear, again, I just check in with myself. My body always knows that is my highest self speaking to me. If something feels like a hell yes, I'm like, I'll be a yes to this. I don't have to align with like this teaching. Like that's not applying to everything. We never have to take universal laws or astrological principles and make them things that we fear, right? That's just another way of putting yourself in some sort of odd prison of your mind and of random belief systems and like superstitions, right? What you get to do, and everything is a get to, nothing is a have to, everything is a get to, nothing is a should, right? It's like, I get to do this. Like I like to take it as a period where I just get to go, okay, I get to not make any great big decisions. I get to kind of take that time in my calendar as a businesswoman and as an entrepreneur. I don't make big launches. My next launch is actually happening after Mercury retrograde, right? Because you'll notice that at the time of launches, and my experience has been in the past, that emails don't get opened. People are non-committal. They sign things, then they don't. Like all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. And then it's like they signed the contract, but they didn't make the payment, or they made a payment, but my team's chasing them for a contract. Like weird ass stuff. And I'm just like, that's okay. I'm not really available for that anymore. So anything that I desire for myself, if it's an absolute hell yes, I'm a yes to it. And if I'm not, then I'm just like, okay, I get these next 3 weeks to not really make any big commitments. I get to go inward with myself. I get to check in with myself and divine consciousness and my alignment with myself and see what's coming up for me. This is a time for me to really go inward. Now, here's the thing with when I say go inward, what it means is not just run, right? And I talk about this a lot with the women in our previous Weight Loss for Life program and in my Ultimate Queens group, private clients, right? Like I talk about the need to always be busy is just another way. It's another mask that we carry. It's another way in which we're living and is so busy that we're never actually still. It's like the perpetual traveler or the perpetual seeker or the perpetual needing all of the healings. And I'm going to go to this person, this person. It's like, when are you with you? When are you trusting that you've done enough, right? Like, when do you just start living and be present to what is? And so I share that with you because during this time, what you might be feeling astrologically and from an energetic standpoint, which I've shared with you already, is that, here are some things that you might be feeling, that you're ungrounded, that you keep wanting to eat, like you're incessantly, like you're an empty pit, like you can't get full. Like you're like, do I have a tapeworm? Do I have parasites? What is happening, right? And what that really is it's a need for you to ground. It's a need for you to actually put your feet in the earth, put your feet in the water, meditate, ground in, see red chakra energy. That's your grounding energy. See yourself. So I'll go into some practices, right? But the first and foremost, if you're feeling ungrounded, if you're noticing that you're not getting full, that you are in this in this spinning energy. What I mean by spinning energy, it's frenetic energy. It's like, oh my God, there's so much on my plate. I don't even know where to start, but I've got to start. And there's so many things. And I feel inspired to do this and I feel inspired to do that. But I also have all these things that I just don't even know because it's overwhelming because there's so much. That is spinning. That's spinning energy. It's the energy of procrastination. It's the energy of, oh my God, I'm in overwhelm, right? These are just spaces and stages of self-sabotage. And the way that we want to get out of that is to actually get into a grounded energy so we can start to breathe, right? That's why I started us off with breath. I started us just letting things go. I started us and brought us back to a space where we're coming together and we're just going, let me be in the body. Let me be in this body. Everybody just hit yourself right now. Pat here. Connect in. Hi, I'm here. We're connected. You are my body. I love you, right? Like, I love you. I love you. But like I always say, just hug yourself. Yes, we need to hug ourselves. It's so, and I do. I honestly, I wake up every morning and I hug myself. My clients know this. I do. I'm a firm believer in it because we need a lot of hugs a day and we just don't get enough. And you've got to love yourself first. It's a little love affair. So we want to ground in, right? We want to feel, we want to be in the body. Being up here is never going to get you out of a negative cycle. Being in the mind is never going to get you out of a negative cycle. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do here is if you're noticing, again, this frenetic energy, this overwhelm, and if you're noticing that you're an endless pit where you can just keep eating and you're kind of like, what is happening? I have a tapeworm. It's just you needing to ground. So let's get into some breath through the exercise that I took you through earlier in this video. Five in, suspend the breath for 5, out for 5. The next thing to do with that also is ground. Go in nature, be in nature, put your feet in the earth, put your feet in the sand, put your feet in the water, ground, ground, ground. Also, when you're going into that breath work, see red grounding energy, see it coming out of your tailbone, that's your root chakra, and that roots are coming out the bottoms of your feet. I like to imagine, I like everything gold. I like everything gold and rose gold, so everything that I'm going to ever tell you is going to have gold in it. And rose gold, it's also super healing, but you know, it's like, honestly, I think everything in my home is rose gold. So is all my jewelry. I have a problem. A problem that's a wonderful one. Okay, so we're going to see rose gold roots coming out the bottoms of your feet. And you can also see red roots and just red. And I want you to think of it, it's like a deep red, right? And I just want you to really see that and feel that coming out of your root chakra and going into the earth and even the earth beneath you and grounding in. And that's why I'm saying go in nature, go on a hike, go do something outside, breathe in the fresh air, right? Get grounded through breath, get grounded through nature, get grounded through stillness. And really just go like, I put the food away, plate it, portion it, put it away. I teach that. And the other one to do is really just sitting there and going, okay, I'm in a self-sabotage cycle of overwhelm and I choose right now to ground. I'm grounded, right? Universe, angels, guides, God, help me to ground in, to call me to my next state of action. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Even going into some yoga postures will really support you with that. The other thing that I had really shared here too, what's up, Roxanne? What's up, Angela? What's up, Judith? What's up, Laura? Okay, so the other thing that I was really sharing here too that I want to tell you is if you've also noticed that you are so tired, like me. Like you could just sleep in like not just 9 hours, but like 12 hours. That's just what's going on energetically. So what we're being called to, and in this energy right now, is the call to, it's truly a collective, a female collective. It's, how do I explain this? So we as women, for the first time in a very, very, very long time, it's 2020. Right? We are in a new decade. This is the decade of the feminine rising. We are the most powerful species. I'm sorry. I love me some men. Don't get me wrong. I love men. And I'm not saying we don't need men. I'm a very much proponent. We need men. Absolutely. And women have never been in a space in which we are, with the Me Too movement, right? With taking office, with being the primary breadwinners, with making more money and more money and more money, and having a bigger voice and coming together. We are being called as a collective to rise, and what that means is a part of us needs to die. So I know that can sound very heavy, and I invite you to not make it heavy. But what I invite you to is to have fun with it and sit there and go, and I want you to all write this down. What belief systems, what ways of being, what identities am I ready to release? What belief systems, what ways of being, what identities am I ready to release? What things are no longer serving me? Is always being late no longer serving me? Is overeating no longer serving me? Is being overweight no longer serving me? Is not stepping into my power, not using my voice, not making the money, not being as intimate or connected with my partner, not having love, what ways of being, going at it alone, being isolated, hiding behind your work, hiding behind the busy, always being negative or making yourself wrong or being super judgmental or critical. Yeah, these are all negative things because they're things that we're being called to let go of. What I am fully on a mission to do is to help women to have it all, to be an example of a woman that has it all, that is worthy, that is wealthy, that has it all, that is able to step into that. And there are pieces I'm still putting into place. So you get to follow me on this journey, and you get to be a part of this journey. We get to do it together. It's about helping women to know that they are enough now, to be worthy now, that you don't need to wait until X to have the body, to have the health, to overcome illness, right? Like, these are all things that I teach. I speak about them in the Wholeness podcast. You can always just binge the hell out of that thing and tell me what you think. Hope you like it. And I do all of that because I love you guys, and because I know that there's a reason why I've been given so much to overcome. And I know that this is what we need, right? This is what I need. This is what we all need together, is to know that we're enough and to empower ourselves with the truth of how beautiful and magnificent and extraordinary we all are. And to start just going like, am I done with that? Like, I'm ready to let that go. I'm ready to let that go, because what I can tell you is this. The old way of being that you've been living into, what you think is safe, what you think is your comfort zone, is actually really hard to continue to step into and live into. I know it may feel easier because it's what you've been doing, but it's not easy. It's actually hard, and it doesn't feel good, and it makes you sad, and it makes you pissed off, and it makes you disappointed, it makes you frustrated. And we know when something is divine guidance because it feels good. We know when it's a soul calling because it lights us up. We don't need to know the how. We need to believe in miracles. We need, repeat after me, I believe in miracles. I expect only miracles. That is what I am available to. I am only available to. We have to draw that line in the sand, right? And so we as a woman are being called to this. And as we're being called to this, a lot of women are feeling a lot of fear. And a lot of women are noticing that negative voice that's coming out, and it's coming out pretty bold and loud. And it's like, oh my God, I thought I already healed this stuff, right? Like, what is happening? And it's coming out because you're being called to let it go. It's coming out because you are ready to let it go. It's coming out because this is your time to actually just go, I deserve more. I'm ready for more. Like, I want the ease. I want the flow. I want the body. I want, who's to say weight loss can't be super easy? Who's to say, like, you can say, I'm ready to let go of food. Help me to see this differently. Like, I'm ready to let go of money struggles. Help me to see this differently. I'm ready to let go of my relationship not being everything that I want it to be. I'm ready to let go of me not using my voice. Is it going to be messy? Yes. Is it not always going to feel comfortable? Yes. Is it going to be super easy? Like, all the time? You're going to go in and out. Like, it's going to go easy, and then there's going to be something that comes up and you're kind of like, oh, wow. And then you go, oh my God, this is awesome because I get to clear this. And on the other side of this, I'm on the other side of this, right? Which is something like, Gabby Bernstein and Amanda Francis always say, they always say like, I'm on the other side of this. And I love that so much because it's so true. It's just like, yeah, you get to, right? Like I always share with you guys, always, always, always. And if you're new to me, then you get to hear for the first time that our words create our reality. So your words can either hurt you or help you. They set the stage for the things that you desire. So right now, if you're feeling really tired, please don't skimp on sleep. Your body is needing to heal. Your body is needing time to die off of these ways of being. The more sleep that you get, the more clarity that you get, the more healing that you get, the more divine guidance you receive. We don't want to skimp on sleep, guys. This is where we age backwards. This is where our body, our cells get to turn over. This is where we get to rev our metabolism. This is, again, most of all, we get to set the stage for the divine guidance we get to receive. I teach this in our Weight Loss for Life program and in my Ultimate Queens program about busting through belief systems and how we can set the stage when we go to bed at night. And I encourage you all, so if you're feeling the need for extra sleep, please sleep. And if you're noticing that there's a surge of energy, like one of the women in my Queens program was just like, Melissa, I'm going to bed and I'm doing all the things, but like I feel like I could get up and run a marathon. I told her, I was like, dance it out, get it all out, do a mind dump, dance it out, let the energy come out of the system. And this is the last piece that I want to share with you. When we have that energy, what it is it's the Kundalini rising. So Kundalini is like a spiritual, those of you that don't know, so I always have Kundalini Yoga as a part of my programs. It's in like, I always have my Kundalini teacher come to my retreats. Like I'm just such a proponent of Kundalini Yoga because it is such a beautiful complement to what I do and what I teach. And it's really about overcoming mindset and shifting out of negative mindset and these ways of being and releasing them and not being in the head, but being in the body. And Kundalini, I want you to think of it. It's like this. It's like you're going in a circle. It's like this snake energy. Often when I meditate, I will open my eyes and I'm like going in circles, and it's this beautiful, and it's really this feminine rising energy. And sometimes it can be overpowering, and especially as we're doing this really deep work in our Ultimate Queens program, and it's really about the power of who you're stepping into. So I was telling her, I was just like, you're stepping into this new way of being. And this new way of being, it's almost like your body's got to repattern itself to actually be available to it. So it's this surge of energy, and it's going to feel explosive and creative and be excited by it. So guys, also know this. All of the negative voices, if you're noticing that there's extra harsh judgment or criticism or all these things, those voices are coming up because they're ready to let go. And they wouldn't be coming up unless you were changing. They wouldn't be coming up unless you were stepping into something very powerful. So remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. And I just wanted you to kind of know what's going on energetically. So it's super exciting. And you can also just say a simple prayer or a simple declaration, universe, God, source, power, like power above, angels, help me to heal, help me to be brave, help me to be courageous, help me to see things differently, help me to experience this with grace and ease. I always say with grace and ease. Help me to experience this with grace and ease. Help me to release with grace and ease. Help me to let go with grace and ease. Let it be easy. I just choose to let it be easy. Like it's now just super easy, and this is fun, and this is exciting, and I'm so excited, and show me a way that's filled with joy and excitement and ease, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know any questions that you have. I absolutely love being with you guys, and I hope that this helped you. Have an amazing weekend, and I can't wait to hear from you. Post any questions in the comments below. I am here. Love you much. Bye, guys. See, this is called Mercury Retrograde. When I'm hitting the screen, let's see if this one closes.